In our first two videos, we looked at how to observe our stress and how to interrogate the inner critic that tells us we aren't enough. But eventually, we reach a crossroads. We have to decide if we are going to stay in that state of freeze or if we are going to move forward. In chapter 2, verse 3, the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna takes a pivotal turn. Arjuna is still sitting in his chariot, paralyzed by doubt. Krishna looks at him and says something that is perhaps the most sophisticated perspective shift in ancient psychology. He says, Naetat tvai upapadyate. Translated, it means this does not befit you. It's not an insult. It's a reminder of who Arjuna actually is. Today we are exploring why your current mental blocks are actually unbecoming of your true potential and how to finally stand up. Krishna tells Arjuna not to yield to clairvoyance, a word that refers to a state of powerlessness or losing one's inner strength. In modern terms, we often call this learned helplessness. It's that feeling where, because things have been difficult, we convince ourselves that we are incapable of change. We begin to identify as the person who is burnt out or the person who can't handle the pressure. Krishna's intervention is subtle but profound. He's saying, yielding to this is a choice. Yielding to this feeling is a choice. And it's a choice that contradicts your history, your skills, and your character. He is calling out the identity gap, the distance between the person you are capable of being and the version of yourself you are currently entertaining. Krishna then uses a specific phrase, Kshudram hridayam daurbalyam. This literally translates to the petty or insignificant weakness of the heart. This can be a hard pill to swallow when we are in deep stress. Our problems feel massive. Our anxiety feels like a mountain. But the Bhagavad Gita asks us to reframe the scale. It suggests that the essence of who you are, your Atma, or your core potential is so vast that this current moment of doubt is by comparison very small. Kshudram. In Sadhak Sanjeevani, Swami Ram Sukhdas ji also explains that we feel weak only when we attach ourselves to temporary things like our fears of what people think or our worry about the future. When you realize that your inner strength is more permanent than your current problem, the problem actually begins to shrink. You stop seeing the struggle as a character flaw and start seeing it as a temporary cloud that is blocking your sun. Krishna refers to Arjuna's state as anaryam, meaning it is not the conduct of a noble person. In this context, nobility isn't about social class. It's about a standard of behavior, a high performance mindset. What the Gita calls the noble mindset is defined by one thing: the ability to act in alignment with your duty, even when your emotions are screaming otherwise. If we only show up when we feel inspired, we are at the mercy of our moods. But if we show up because it is befitting of who we are, we reclaim our power. Krishna's final command in this verse is Tyaktvottishtha. Shake it off, break the physical and mental trance of I can't and replace it with I must. So, what is going to be this week's Mind Lab? The Suitability Audit. Let's bring this into our life for this week today. We are going to use Suitability Audit. Whenever you find yourself stuck in a loop of procrastination or self-doubt, I want you to pause and ask yourself, Naetat tvai upapadyate, meaning, Does this behavior suit the person I am becoming? Then you do an identity check. If you envision the most successful, grounded version of yourself 5 years from now, would they be handled by this situation the same way? And third step, you label the feeling. Acknowledge the anxiety, but label it as insignificant compared to your long-term mission. And finally, the Tyaktvottishtha move. When you feel the freeze response, change your physical state. Stand up, take a deep breath, and complete one tiny 2-minute task. Prove to your brain that you are no longer yielding to the powerlessness. You are essentially reminding your mind, I hear the fear, but it's too small for the life I am building. The Gita does not ask us to be perfect. It asks us to be authentic. And being paralyzed by fear is not your authentic state. Your authentic state is one of clarity and purposeful action. This week, don't wait for the fear to go away. Simply decide that the fear does not suit you anymore. And stand up anyway. In video 4, we are going to tackle a different kind of hurdle. Arjuna finally responds and he asks a question we all face. How do I stay firm when the people I love or respect are the ones standing in my way? We are going to talk about the conflict of loyalty. Keep up doing the great work. Shake off the smallness. My name is Nikhil and I'll see you in video 4. Have a good one.